Welcome back everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day today because this is going to be a very special video that I'm making. So grab your popcorn, soda, chocolate, candy, etc. and buckle up because today we're going to be talking about The Godfather, written by Mario Puzo, which is an Italian-American author and published in 1969. So let's just get some straight facts about both the book and the movie because there's a lot to talk about them. For the book, there was a total of 20 to 30 million copies sold worldwide and has remained a #1 classical bestseller. So that was very impressive. As for one of the characters named Johnny Fontaine, his real life inspiration was Frank Sinatra because of his story of his rise to fame to eventually his downfall and his rise back up to fame. There's actually a lot to talk about for the movie. It was quite a journey for Academy Award winner director Francis Ford Coppola because so much happened while making this movie. It was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and it won 3, which was Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Marlon Brando, which played the Godfather in the movie, actually regretted the award and sent Sashi Littlefeather to the Oscars to represent him and told the Academy that he regretfully cannot accept the award for the treatment of Native American in the film industry, and she's actually the president of the National Native American Committee. So when I researched The Godfather, to my surprise, I found out that the director Francis Ford Coppola was actually at risk of being fired during production. Like the studio was threatening him about that. However, when it came down to the scene where Michael kills Salazzo and McCluskey, they loved it. When it came down to the scene of Jackal's waking up and finding the head of his horse on his bed, and he freaks out and screams, that was actually a real horse head. Like, no prop at all. So for whoever thought that was a fake prop or whatever, you were wrong. Like, I'm as shocked as you. Like, that horse head is real. Al Pacino was actually not the first choice for the role of Michael Corleone. They had other actors, for example, James Caan and Martin Sheen auditioned for the role. However, they eventually put Al Pacino for the role because Francis Ford Coppola really did want Al Pacino. Another famous actor named Robert De Niro actually auditioned for the role of Sonny Corleone, but eventually James Caan got the role for Sonny Corleone and Robert De Niro got the role for young Vito Corleone, which is in The Godfather Part 2. Paramount Pictures actually did not want Marlon Brando to be the Godfather at all. They even told Francis Ford Coppola that he would never appear in a Paramount picture. Eventually, they did put him as the Godfather, and in my opinion, they did a fantastic job. Because if it wasn't for Marlon Brando to be the Godfather, it wouldn't be as iconic and as successful as it is today. Let's get on with the similarities and the differences about both the book and the movie of The Godfather. As I was reading the book, I was very impressed about how both really clicked because I was really visualizing the movie in front of me. That's how similar the movie was. Like, I was in shock. Both start with Connie's wedding and The Godfather helping those in need when they come for him. Then they go to Johnny Fontaine. The Godfather helps him into getting the movie role. After that, they go to the Salazzo business, which ends up brutally injuring Vito Corleone by getting shot 5 times. After that, he's sent to the hospital. Michael Corleone soon finds out that his father is going to be killed, so he does anything to prevent that. Michael is outside the hospital and McCluskey sees him and he punches him in the face, which brutally injures his jaw. After that, Salazzo and McCluskey are assassinated by Michael Corleone, because they attempted on his father's life. And that just starts the war between the five families and the Corleone family. While in Sicily, Michael Corleone with his two bodyguards meet this girl named Apollonia, which he eventually marries her and has love with her. During this time, Kate Adams, which is Michael's girlfriend, is in desperate in getting in touch with him, but it has no luck at all. Then Connie is brutally beaten by his husband Carlo Rizzi, which makes her call Sonny to tell him what happened. Then Sonny goes there, and he eventually gets killed by Barzini's men. And it goes from there. One little teeny tiny little detail that both in the movie and the book got was Michael, his nose was dripping, and I think that it was just that little detail that made it more similar to the book. The origin of Vito Corleone, which by the way back then it was Vito Andolini, really came to life in the movie, but we really don't see that until Godfather Part 2. We really do see his humble beginnings, where his parents were killed and then he's sent to New York to his rise to power. It was fantastic, and we really do see his change from being a humble man to be the wise man that he was in the present days. The movie did a fantastic job in really bringing the characters to life. For example, we have Marlon Brando portraying Vito Corleone, trying to help people, being loyal to his family and friends, and we really do see him as a wise man. Then we have Al Pacino, which is Michael Corleone. We really do see the complexity towards the end when he becomes the Don. He changes forever. Then we have Sonny Corleone, which is played by James Caan. We really do feel the anger and the rage when he tries to take action when someone from his family is injured by another person. Then we have Robert Duvall, which is Tom Hagen. We really do see that he helps the Corleone family and everything that is going on. However, here's where the differences come. I was very disappointed into finding out that Gengo Vandando and Nino Valenti are not in the movie at all. However, Gengo Vandando is in part 2, but his role is really nothing but an insignificant one. And Nino Valenti is Johnny Fontaine's best friend, and he's really always there for him. And I was really disappointed to find out that it was he never appeared in the movie at all. Pretty much the deaths of the five families are different. For example, in the movie, all the five families die. And in the book, only Barzini and Titalia die. All Green in the movie dies during the assassination of the five families, while in the book, he dies right after the Corleone family wants to buy him out of the casino business. Michael is in his home while the assassination of Barzini, Titalia, and Fabrizio is occurring, and the baptism of Connie's baby is happening right before that. However, in the movie, the baptism takes place during the assassination of all the families. Paolo and Fabrizio, which are the bodyguards of Michael Corleone, don't die in the movie at all, which was really disappointing to me. But that's why I enjoyed so much more the book, because in the book, Carlo dies with Apollonia in the explosion, and Fabrizio dies while getting shot by one of the Corleone men in his pizzeria. They left out on the stories of Johnny Fontaine losing Manzini right after the wedding of Connie is over. We don't know anything about them after that event is over. Then the background story of Albernetti is not mentioned at all, and I will be explaining it right now. Johnny Fontaine had left his wife and children to marry another girl, which was his biggest mistake of his lifetime. Then after that, he recovers from it and sees his children and his ex-wife, and he makes his own movies alongside with his partner Nino Valenti, which is his best friend, and he eventually wins the Oscar. Then after that, they go to Las Vegas and they explain more about his life. Lucy Manzini was one of the bridesmaids at Connie's wedding. When she found out that Sonny was killed, she immediately tried to commit suicide by overdosing on pills. Then Tom Hagen tried to help her by sending her to Las Vegas for a better lifestyle, and she meets a doctor that becomes friends with her, and it goes on from there. Abernethy was a policeman, a big, tough, and scary one. He was really good at taking care of the street, keeping everything under control. Eventually, the Corleone family found out about this and hired him, and it was said it was like the next Luca Brasi for Michael. Michael finds out differently that Tessio betrayed him. In the book, Michael finds out on the phone that Tessio tells him that Barzini is arranging a meeting, while in the movie, during the funeral of Vito Corleone, Tessio tells him that Barzini is arranging a meeting. For those of you who haven't read the book and only seen the movie, thought that The Godfather ends with Kay pouring a drink and the doors being shut. Well, you are absolutely wrong. Years go by and the Corleone family are going to move to Las Vegas. Kay Adams is very mad at Michael because he lied to her into telling that he wasn't a gangster and he didn't kill Carlo. Eventually, Kay Adams takes the kids to New Hampshire and she is approached by Tom Hagen into talking sense with her, telling why Michael does what he does. And the book ends with Kay going to church and praying for Michael's soul. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, I would really appreciate it if you go like, comment, and subscribe below and stay in touch, because I will be uploading more videos as soon as I read more books. And well, that's it. Cheers. Delicious. This is as good as an offer that you can't refuse. I highly recommend you buying this wine. It's called Villantinone Toscana.